Hello, Grant Wiley here to welcome you all to Grant's Game Room, Episode 4. Today I'll be reviewing Quartermaster General by Griggling Games. But first, before I do that, a little bit of housekeeping. Guys, if you're enjoying these videos and like to see more of them, please go below, click on the links, and click subscribe and share. We appreciate any shares you do. We're going to be doing some coupons in the future. We're going to be doing announcements. I've given away 2 games to Twitter backers, so go out and back us on Twitter or follow us on Twitter. That way we can, keep you up to date with what's going on. We may do some live gameplay videos where on Twitter we're play testing games. So please be sure to do that. We appreciate the support. Also, just to let you know, for any of y'all that enjoy our games, we're going to be launching Hold Fast Tunisia on Kickstarter on this coming Monday. Today is, today is the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. We'll be launching that on the 18th, probably around 6 p.m. Monday the 18th at 6 p.m. We'll be doing a Kickstarter launch. Maybe I'll do something on Twitter to where we count down or something, I don't know, something goofy. But anyway, with that, let me get into Quartermaster General by Griggling Games. And I want to show you something first. I'm not trying to scare you coming at you. I have 2 copies of this. And you may ask yourself, why does Grant have 2 copies of Quartermaster General? On games I really like, and I worry that something's going to happen to a copy of mine, or that it's going to sell out one day and the dog's going to eat my copy, I always get 2 copies of games I really enjoy, just so I've always got one. So let's go over what's in the box. You get a beautiful full color hard box here, standard. I think it's probably 12 by 9 by 2 1/4, 2-inch box here. When I first saw this, I wasn't sure it was a game I'd be interested in. The box kind of looked, it's kind of dark. It's not but it's kind of dark. And Quartermaster General, I didn't know what it was about. Guys, if you enjoy Axis and Allies, you will absolutely love this game. If you enjoy World War II full war games, this game is for you. It's a brilliant game designed by Ian Brody from Griggling Games. This is one of my favorite World War II games. I probably will never play a full version of World War II Axis and Allies again because of this. There's more interaction between players. You're not sitting there for 4 hours, waiting for your opponent or partner to make a move. Let's go over what's in the box real quick. Sorry, I ramble. What you get in the box, again, nice, sturdy, solid box. You get a rule, and I like rules at this size. These are small, lots of graphics. It clocks in at, I think, 24 pages. That's a cover with a little historical blurb and promo to get you worked up, a table of contents, player assignments, setup. This even tells you a little bit about the pros and cons of each side. You get 6 different players can play this. You've got Germany, Japan, and Italy, the Axis players. You got the United Kingdom, Soviet Union, and United States, allied players. So you can play from 2 to 6 players. It tells you how to break it down. It tells you the strengths and weaknesses of each side. Again, look at that setup page. I mean, that is pure graphics. Not a lot of words to put you to sleep. Again, lots of good graphic examples, card examples, card explanations, card play, telling you how to play, and then the variations within the card. There's some intricacies, not in the rules or the cards, but in how you play them. And the interplay between players, their cards, and hand management is really interesting. And then the last 3 pages are a full example of turns. Just so you know, this is World War II Quartermaster General. Griggling Games partnered with PSC Games to do World War I. I think it's Quartermaster General 1914. And also there's Quartermaster General Victory or Death, and that is by PSC Games. That's also a Quartermaster General game, and that's the Peloponnesian War. So if you've got interest in World War I or ancient history, guys, pick this up. You've got to get this game, I'm telling you. You get wooden pieces. They're color-coded for each army. You've got, or each nation. You've got the tanks represent your land armies, and little wooden ships represent your sea armies, or your navies. I'm sorry, not sea armies. Each side is limited, and this is one of the cool, I've told you before, I enjoy the baked-in feature on games. They're limited. Each side is limited in how many of each they have, based on how they built historically. The Germans, for instance, have 7 land armies and 3 navies. They didn't have a big navy, and you're not going to be able to in the game. So you've got to work with your Japanese and Italian partners to work that out. Great Britain, not a huge army, good-sized navy. They're 5 and 5. 5 land armies, 5 navies. Japan, strong navy, very small army. I'll give you the layouts on these real quick, if you can stand me not looking at you. Germany gets 7 land armies, 3 navies. Japan, 5 and 5. Italy, 4 armies, 3 navies. So smaller army. That also represents your economics. Germany wasn't building ships. They were building tanks. England, 5 armies, 5 navies. Soviet Union, 7 land armies, 1 navy. And the U.S. is a 5 and 5 because we were pretty balanced. Each nation gets a deck of cards. Soviet Union, Great Britain, Japan, Italy, United States, and Germany. You get a beautiful, and it'll remind you of Axis and Allies when you pop this puppy open, a beautiful hard-mounted game board. That isn't huge, it isn't overwhelming your table like Axis and Allies. I'm trying to get it all in here in the camera. You've got areas, it's very clearly designated where you can move between straits. They've got the little red arrows, if you can see them there. They've got a victory point track around the side. And each nation's home is, like Moscow, is color-coded to its pieces. Germany and Italy are color-coded to their pieces. The United States, Japan is. So everything is very clear in this game. I mean, you'll pick this up and in 15 minutes, I think easily 15 minutes, be able to play it. The first time I played this, I played it solitaire. I'm going to go over in another video how I play solitaire games and maybe walk you through 2 or 3 of mine. But I'm going to stop the video, come around to the other side of the camera, lay it out, and show you how this puppy works. Okay, what I have here is the opening setup, just to show you a little bit. Each country starts with 1 land piece in its capital. There you can see the Russians, the British, and the Germans and Italians. If you look, let me get the finger, there's the Italians, there's a German tank, British. You have the Americans right over here. And there's the finger of fate. And you have the Japanese out here in the Pacific on Japan. There are no navies that start on the board. To begin with, each player, and if you're playing 2, you take, the Axis, and 1 player takes the Allies. If you're playing more, the game breaks it down. Each player takes 10 cards from their deck. And then you can discard 3 cards. So you have a hand of 7 cards. There are several different types of card. There's a status card, a response card. I broke these out for the Americans. A build Navy and a build Army card. A sea battle card. An event card, and down there for the Russians is a land battle card. Those are the different types of cards you have in your deck. How the game is played is each turn you take, the Germany goes first, United Kingdom second, Japan third, Soviet Union fourth, Italy fifth, and the United States sixth. So, if Germany had a build army card, they could build an army in any open space adjacent to one of their in-supply units. And how you keep supplies, you have basically a chain of your land units, your country's land units, back to your capital. So, you know, Germany could trace back to Germany. With supply, you can trace across water, but you've got to control an island in one of the sea spaces. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but supply is critical in this game, and you do it by keeping control of the spaces connecting your units. If you look there, you see a star space. Those are victory locations. You see the red circle with the line. That means to move between the Mediterranean and Bay of Bengal, you have to control the Middle East. To move between the Mediterranean and the North Sea, you have to control North Africa or have a land unit in North Africa. Each space on the board can only have one land piece of your nation. You could have up one land piece of each of your allies plus yours. So you could have up to 3 in Germany. You could have an Italian unit, a German unit, and a Japanese unit even potentially if you so wanted and it worked out that way. Not what I'd recommend. How you place units, it's pretty easy. You play a Build Navy card. Yep. There we go. Well, here, this is easier. You play a Build Navy card, and you drop a Navy unit into a water location, into a sea zone, adjacent to a in-supply land unit, which really makes it pretty cool, particularly when you get out here to the Pacific. So if I wanted to build a ship in the northern Pacific, I could do it as long as I had an in-supply unit in the western United States. If I wanted to build one in the Sea of Japan, I couldn't just drop one in the Sea of Japan because I have a ship in the North Pacific. I would also have to control Iwo Jima, a land unit, a land area also. So it represents naval marine invasions. I'm probably not doing a great job explaining it there, but hopefully you guys get the gist. Response cards are played face down. Status cards are played face up. Let me zoom out a little bit. Status cards can affect you for the entire game. So this status card for Italy is Bravado. Instead of playing a card from your hand, discard 3 cards from your hand and play a land battle card from the discard pile. Each nation has different amounts of cards, and it makes it very interesting because once you run out of cards, you're kind of out of the game, but not really, because you can still be earning victory points every turn if you have a status card that allows you to do so. Germany has 40 cards, Japan 33, Italy has the least of any with 30, United Kingdom 39, Soviet Union 34, and United States 40. Build Army is the same way as Build Navy. You have to be adjacent to an area you control. Response cards. Response cards. Operation Katsu. You probably can't see that glare. Operation Ketsugo. Use any time. Do not remove an army in Japan or a navy in the Sea of Japan this turn. That means basically if I get attacked by the Americans in the Sea of Japan, they play a battle card which would remove a piece. I can play that card, it's discarded, and I don't have to remove the piece. Battle cards are interesting. Basically, there's a sea battle card, and down there for Russia, a land battle card. If you have a piece in a space adjacent to an enemy piece, you can play that card, and you just pick up the opponent's army in that area, and it's removed. That's a land battle. So pretty simple mechanic because it's not all about battle. It's somewhat, but it's also about keeping your supply lines open. Event cards, they're one-time played. Dutch East Indies, recruit an army in Indonesia and or New Guinea, and recruit a navy in the South China Sea. That's a UK card. Pretty big card. It would have a major effect in the game. Guys, this game plays brilliantly. I haven't probably done a great job of explaining. There's probably some other videos on Board Game Geek that would explain how to play this much better. I'm just trying to give you a down and dirty quick overview. You play a card, you can discard cards, and then you draw cards. The turn sequence is pretty simple. The first step is you play a card. You play one of the 7 cards. You check supply for your units. If your units are out of supply, they're eliminated. You earn victory points. Your 4th step is you discard cards, and then you draw cards. And it's that simple. Guys, again, I probably haven't done a great job explaining this. I get a little excited going over games. I don't really script these out real well. I'll work on that in the future. But I wanted to just give you an idea on what a brilliant, beautiful game this is. It's playable in probably 1 to 2 hours, depending on the speed of play and how many players you got. It would actually probably play quicker with 6 than 2 because you're having to control multiple nations with 2 players. So you know, skipping back and forth. If you got 6, everybody can have their card ready that they're going to play. And I think this thing would roll because you're not moving masses of armies. You're moving a single cool tank piece or a single cool navy piece, or you're just playing your card for effect. A lot of cards can only be played if you've played a certain card, so that cards can feed off themselves, particularly the Japanese in the Pacific. It gets real cool because you almost can feel a Pearl Harbor or a Midway, to where they're trying to do sneak attacks and hidden maneuvers with their response cards and all. The American player will do something, Japanese have the response for it. Same thing with the Americans. The Germans, British, and Russians and Italians, because they're a little more landlocked, they're a little more up front. A lot of theirs are supply cards. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please go below, subscribe, hit the like, hit the share. Keep watching. Today's my Friday video. I'll be doing one, probably just a quick Worthington update, talking about Holdfast Tunisia tomorrow, and laying out the board, just a update, either tomorrow or Sunday. And then on Monday, I'm going to be reviewing another game. Haven't decided which yet, but I'll surprise you then. I appreciate you viewing. As always, thanks and happy gaming.